Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome. I'm back from Texas. Ozzy and I had an incredible time together. He's really kind of a stand-up guy. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Um, you know, wish we could have spent more time together, but I mean, shit happens. So we all have lives and things to take care of. So I am home taking care of them, and Ozzy is still in Texas. So one of the things that we did was go to the Johnson Space Center. Of course, how would I miss a rocket, right? So that was one of the things that we certainly did. Johnson's a really cool place. I would highly suggest visiting at some point. For those who don't know, Johnson is the mission control center for most of spaceflight. Or all of spaceflight, actually. Sorry, I was looking for something here too. So Johnson Space Center is where everything gets taken care of. So it's a really cool place. They do not launch rockets from Johnson Space Center because of its proximity to everything, but it is a really cool place with a lot of really cool history, including some of the historic vehicles, launch vehicles, and stuff like that, which we'll get to. They did have like a fucking intro video and I can't find it. Hang on. All right, so here we go. Here's a video about Johnson Space Center that I was looking for. We're going to start with that because I'm still trying to download photographs because Google Drive hates me today. So let's say hi to everybody and then we'll get right into it. We have Dog Mama. Hello. Dazzle, what's up, mate? Shenny, hello. I'm hard to hear. Give me 1 second then. You leave and you don't change a damn thing, but then everything's different. Okay, let me know if that works a little bit better. What's up, Jacob? Amazing Disgrace. Hello. Xcomer. Thanks, buddy. Did I escape before the furry convention starts? Yes, I did. That starts on Wednesday, so tomorrow. I got the hell out of there before any furries. But thank you for the super. Barbara, hello. There's some huge rockets there. Yes, Jason, I am home. Got in late last night. Been tired as hell all day because we ran like hell all around town. And it's very hot in Texas. I'm Princess. Hello. Unfortunately, I cannot talk about that at all. I would love to, but I'm unable. I'm trying to see if Jenny said I'm better. I assume I'm better because I don't see that she What? Is it that bad? Hang on, now I gotta listen to it. Hang on. Okay, let's say something. I can hear it fine. All right, anyways. Oh, okay. All right, so we're gonna watch this. It's a short video about mission control in Johnson Space Center, Houston, and it says a little bit about the history of the place where we are at. So. So that is the Mission Control Center. Now that place was not available because they still do missions from it. But yeah, that was a really cool thing. There's that's Kennedy. Hang on, let me pull it down because they also have ashtrays all over. Different world now. JSC NBL. Let's see if I want one from NASA. Okay. So this is also home to this, and then this will be the last one, and then we'll get into the actual photographs and stuff like that. But it's also home to most of the training that happens. Oh, I got some rest today, but much appreciated. So they have the neutral buoyancy lab, which is essentially a giant ass pool. And they do a bunch of training and testing here in Houston. So that's another. Do you have a lighter? Or here's what you do. You go down by the pool, because there's the blocks down by the pool, around the pool, and just like tink it off the block, and it will pop open. Or the desk might have a bottle opener, potentially. But those blocks by the pool should be plenty. You just got to hit the corner perfectly. Yeah, well, they have a bunch of the Mexican drinks down there, and he doesn't like the concept from America, so he's been looking for the Mexican beverages with the real sugar. Buc-ee's also has beverages with real sugar. But anyways, way off track. So, this neutral buoyancy lab. So, Space Center Houston is where all the astronauts train for missions as well. SpaceX has one down there. We also saw Axiom Space. No worries. And there were a couple other. There's a couple other programs down there. We actually saw a launchable penis rocket from Blue Origin in the gift shop. I couldn't get Ozzy to go for it, but you could really launch the penis rocket. So here's the NBL Neutral Buoyancy Lab, and this is a little bit about spacewalk suit testing, and you can see what the NBL is. You could have hauled it home in your butt. So that is the Neutral Buoyancy Lab in Houston, Texas, and how they do real things with it. So, really cool place. Where is it going to go? Okay, so that worked successfully. I finished my dinner and finished my download. So mission accomplished. Yeah, so it's really cool. It's a really cool place. We'll add this. I'll show you. So this is the actual website for Space Center Houston and the map. So this is kind of what it looks like, and you get a preview of everything. So there's Falcon 9. There is 747. I'm glad somebody caught it. Then we have Lunar Exhibits, Starship Gallery, Mission Briefing Center, the Food Lab, Artemis Space Center Theater, International Space Station, Space Trader, Mission Mars, and they had a bunch of stuff here in the middle. We did go to the Rocket Park, which is one of the tram tours. We didn't go to any of the other ones. One, because this last one was very expensive, and this one, it was so damn hot, I don't think either of us could have survived another long-ass tram tour in a tin can at 110 degrees. Yes. Yes, it is. And I'll explain that, and we'll talk about it in just a minute here. If you watch... Okay, go for it. I sent you a link too, brother, if you want it. No obligation whatsoever, but I don't know what you're up to. But you're always welcome. It was Astronaut Day also, which was a really cool coincidence. So we got to see some astronauts speaking. One was playing bingo, I believe. And then all kinds of fun little stuff that was just kind of around. So it was good timing and pretty cool. So this is the sign for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the Lyndon B. Johnson, or just Johnson Space Center. Oh, this is this is an RS-25 engine. And these are the ones for my phone, and then I'll go to the other ones. RS-25 engine. And this is what they use both on the SLS and what they used on the Space Shuttle. So it's an engine from like 1984. It's been a decent engine. It's a Rocketdyne engine. And it was pretty cool. Bunch of terrible pictures. This is the astronaut talking. One of the astronauts talking about exercising in space. And how she became an astronaut and all that kind of stuff. We thought she was kind of dry, and we went to a James Webb Space Telescope update instead. Just kind of a personal preference thing. It was cool to see her talk, but I think we both agree the JWST was hella better. So it's interesting because it's on I think one of the roads was actually JFK Road or something like that. No, I wasn't sharing intentionally, but I appreciate it. So so this is me in front of a Saturn V F1 engine. No, she wasn't. She was very dry. Very dry. Like, I'm not going to subject you guys to that terribleness. But so this is me. I'm a big dude, relatively, and this is an F1 engine. Mind you, it's called Saturn V because there are 5 of these big ass engines on the first stage of the Saturn V. So, good photo. Thank you. Hayden took it. And he also took about 10 more. Actually, I'm going to pull it down real quick because I don't remember what comes next. That always scares me. Okay. So this one's okay. So this is Skylab. This is a mock-up of Skylab. This thing's Hayden right here. It's his cute butt. Basically. And again, you can't really hear the volume because I'm not sharing on the tab, but you're welcome, House. So that's the airlock out. They simulate somebody spinning. There's a airlock of some sort. In the video, Hayden just said what it was, but I didn't listen. Waste management system. Those are all the different systems and electronics that are on it. There's a shower with a half-naked man. And this is where you sleep. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, I know it's not like I made all these comments while I was there because I was going to make it short, and then I forgot that it's like half of it I'm forgetting and that there's not sound. So that's a storage facility or storage area, and now we're walking out, and so they actually put that on a modified Saturn V rocket. It's shaped like it is because it was the top of the Saturn V rocket. Here is one of 8, I believe, slices of the moon that you can actually touch. So that's a piece of the moon. It's in a weird box, so you have to like reach down to reach back up. I assume for security's sake. But here's me touching the moon and caressing it gently. Butts and moons, hell yeah. Oh, and here's the soundstage where they faked the moon landing. There's the rover. That's Earth in the background. There's the astronauts and the flag. I am a widow kid, and I did touch it. So here is inside of. Let me just preview the next like 3 so I don't. Okay, so looks like we're good all the way up until Hayden. So this is the bay inside of the. Yes. So this is the bay where this was a mock-up of the actual shuttle that was on there. that's why I'm not going any further than. So this mocks up a communication satellite, and this is how it'd be stored in the space shuttle. Again, this is a pretty accurate mock-up, but it is a mock-up here. The Boeing 747 transport plane was not a mock-up. Oh, I got a picture of that. Don't worry. So the reflective bay, we couldn't figure out why, but see, Hayden, there's the Canada arm that you missed. That's their contribution to the space program. This is the command module for the space shuttle. Again, a mock-up. Yeah. Yep. That was the Canada arm. And so that's the flight deck for the shuttle with the sticks and all those lovely buttons. I think this is the bottom, also where the astronauts stayed and prep for spacewalks and stuff like that. So you'll see that's a spacesuit, all kinds of lockers to lock their stuff up. And then you have, I thought so there's an EVA suit. And I think the bathroom's like around the corner here. I don't remember if I get to it. I did not pee in it because it was not active, but thought about it. You should always blame Canada. There it is. There's the bathroom. I thought I'd get in trouble. And that's the shuttle bay, so that would be non-pressurized. This is just more of the bay, so we'll skip that. Here's the Falcon 9. Gross. Here's the Falcon 9. They call it the Falcon 9 because it has 9 engines. And this is the last picture from my phone that we can do. That is a fuzzy koala. They sometimes can be out in the wild. And so this is the actual 747 that transported the space shuttle. So I don't actually know if the United States did. Russia didn't bring it into space for space. They brought it into space for return because Siberia, it was dangerous, and they could have landed in a place where they couldn't, where they would have needed the firearm. But what's riding piggyback? Me. No. So this is how the configuration that it would actually be in. Oh shit. What's up, buddy?
There goes the neighborhood.
Property values just went down.
Yeah,
that's ugly. Yeah.
See, that's a nice photo.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is a very nice photo. So this is the 747, and Ozzy has a great short of him touching the support beam for it, where they made a bulkhead, so it could hold this weight. But this is the configuration that it flew in. This is a modified 747. The shuttle was attached to the top of it, and it would fly back to be reused once again. So that's up to the koala. You'll have to ask him.
It's coming. Don't worry. You guys will see it. I'm just the things where I've done longer form footage. I want to put it together properly with like actually clipped together and maybe add some funny clips in and whatever else. It's coming. Just keep your pants on.
It was cute. I liked it. So here is. So back to this. So this is the actual configuration. This is the actual plane. Over 150 missions. It it was pretty incredible to see that kind of history. It was responsible for ferrying that back, getting it ready to put it back together to launch it up again. So really cool piece of history, and that was the authentic original one that was designed for it. There was an interesting thing. The reason why they did that was somebody was making an RC mock-up, actually, and it went into all that in there, but it was just really neat to see that it was just some dude playing with a a plane like that, like an RC plane that he made, and he's like, yeah, you can actually do it, and they're like, okay. He proved the concept, and ultimately that's what started the program. So
yeah, it was really interesting seeing that, as bad as it sounds, there are no stupid ideas. Like, who would have actually thought that you could strap a shuttle to the top of a 747 and go, yeah, let's get this across the country that way. That'll work.
Right. Just strap it on top this 18,000 pound vehicle. Yeah, I don't know. But it's cool. It's cool that they were able to do something like that. So, all right, and about enough time to switch. Okay, so now we're into like camera pictures. So, some of them will be the same or similar, but these are just from my camera. So here is the command module from the Apollo rocket that you'll see later. Texas really flew up since your Griff stream.
The closer, now that we're closer to the convention, the hotel prices have gone ridiculous. Someone contacted me and said that they weren't going to be able to come this time around because they were expecting the prices to be what they were a few weeks ago. And no, anytime you get close to a convention anywhere, prices will always skyrocket.
Yeah, well, they take advantage of the people coming. So,
well, it's supply and demand. It's basic economics.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did Ozzy get scared of any of the pew-pews? No, he did incredibly well.
I'll be honest. Let's face it. When I first stood up there with the M&P Sport, it took me a while to get used to the jumpiness because there was another guy that was firing a rifle about 4 stalls down, and every time that went off, I was a little bit shaken. But I got used to it. By the time I got to the handguns, I was a lot better.
Yeah, and it wasn't. You weren't afraid of the weapon. You were afraid of the booms that were going on all around you. So, happens. So this is not from Apollo 11. This was from one of the only flight certified Apollo or Saturn V left in service. So, and we'll see that later. So, these are the training planes.
That was pretty cool.
What the hell? Yeah. So these are out front of Johnson. These were before we even got there. And that's what the astronauts will train in. And I forget the number of the plane, but whatever.
I took photos of the thing, didn't I? No, I didn't. Damn, I thought I took a photo of the sign. I remember the number 38, but I don't know if it's specific to that or not.
I think they're like a TA-38.
Something like that, yeah.
So this is coming into Kennedy. This is where we parked, and that's what Kennedy Johnson. Sorry, and I just figured out that I should probably just preview all these photos. I don't think we did anything ridiculous, but I want to make sure.
I don't think we did anything illegal. Actually, I'm pretty sure the only illegal stuff I got on my camera, so you should be okay.
Well, I know that there's some stuff that can't be on YouTube on this camera, but
also, for anyone wondering, The beaver nuggets are quite good.
Oh, you finally ate your beaver nugget?
I'm eating them now.
Oh, I ate mine that night. They were pretty good stuff. Yeah.
No, dog mama, there's no nudes that I'm aware of.
No comment. So, anyways, this is walking up to Johnson Space Center, or Space Center Texas, I think it was called, or Space Center Houston. This is to the right of where we parked. That is a Falcon 9 that was in service, and it's now on display. Really freaking cool. There's some pictures of that at the end too. Thank you for the super chat, Comer. How much weight gained so far, Hayden?
Don't know. Haven't been near any scales.
Holy shit. We walked our ass off, though.
That is true. You did like 12,000 steps or something, didn't you?
Yeah, like a day. It was fucking retarded.
Hmm.
So we definitely got steps in. So Falcon 9, and it's hot in Texas. So here's the back end of it. You can really see the landing legs. You can see the engines. And again, we get closer to it at the end. Here's walking up further. And again, just another shot of this giant 747 with the shuttle on his back. Terrible picture. This is actually inside of the rave disco that we went to. No, I'm kidding. This is the inside the Space Center. And I was just working on getting lighting. It was incredibly busy, again, because it was astronaut day. But you see a couple different landers and things of that nature in the background. Over here, you're going to see the International Space Station, a mock-up of it. You have SLS back here. This was Orion, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You can see Astronaut Day sign right there. So cute. And a moon. The moon was pretty cool, too. There's a closer view of the International Space Station mock-up, and I was able to explain a lot of things to Hayden about, this is a solar panel, and they actually had a solar panel display on the ground that you could look at a little bit closer. Here's a Soyuz mock-up of a Russian cruise ship. There's an ESA, or European Space Agency ship, that's never moves. And then you have all the docking ports where you'll have Crew Dragon or whatever other. No, it's just Crew Dragon at this point. Then we went through, and Hayden, jump in whenever you want if you want. Just talking.
Just like on the day, on the day, I'm sitting here enjoying your commentary on it and my beaver nuggets. So.
Well, then do that then. So this is flight suit from, I believe this was the Apollo program, but I can't see close enough. Oh, I can zoom. Oh, no. Okay. That was the next one. This is Sally Ride. So this is the flight suit of Sally Ride, the teacher that ultimately died in the Challenger explosion. So she was the female teacher that got a lot of publicity, and she's the one that died when Shuttle Challenger broke up over Texas. So, hey, Stingy. Hey, what's up, Josh? No, it's not soda. It's pop. It's pop. Later.
It actually is, which is terrifying.
There was, but not at Space Center Houston. But so this is a mock-up of the Discovery Space Shuttle, with a piece of the International Space Station. They took up the ISS in pieces like this to start. So I'm back home, so Hayden's still in Texas. I'm gonna get it correct so I don't fuck it up again.
Hey, Josh.
Let's see. Yeah. Yep. He's hanging out. So this is from the Apollo program, and this was their flight suits back then. They were noticeably different and much lighter. This is a space shuttle spacesuit, so this would be an EVA suit. You'll have oxygen and nitrogen in the backpack. Slight propulsion so you can move around. I believe it's cold gas, so nitrogen. I flew.
Yeah,
I flew.
it's worse than that. He paid.
I flew and then drove. Oh, speaking of drive,
Mm.
I asked Hayden where the hotel was so I could come see him.
You son of a bitch.
He told me go down East 10.
I did not. I asked if you were on the East 10.
Okay, if I was on the East 10. And then you said something like, oh, it's on the East 10. So I went to the one that was on the East 10.
20 fucking miles away from where I was.
Yeah, and it was about an hour back to the West 10, which was actually where it was. And yeah. So that was cute. But so never take directions from an Aussie. That's what we learned here. This is a newer
directions from me. You interpreted your directions from the questions that I was asking. I take no responsibility whatsoever.
So this is similar to the one that Buzz Aldrin would have wore on the moon. A little bit different, but they were trying out different designs and stuff. So this is another EVA suit for lunar exploration. You can see the little kind of shovels there that they would pick up samples with. So was that a hint, Hayden? Maybe.
Yes, but he ignored it anyway, so.
Fuck you. Yes. Yeah. I know. So here is they were really concerned when the astronauts were coming back, and for a long time they would make them stay in these chem suits. So they didn't know if there was any off-world illness or there's any kind of radiation sickness or poison. I know. It's partially my fault, but so anyways, they made him stay in these chem suits until they were cleared. So here is a mock-up of the Space Launch System, the most ridiculously expensive rocket I've ever seen that has no real purpose. Here is a photo of the same one I did short of. This is the RS-25. So this is an engine made by Rocketdyne. The first one went into service in 1984. It started development in 1982. It is a beast. It is a big rocket. You can see some humans over here that are looking at it as well. So you can see the size. And you have various different things here. You have exhaust, you have a turbo pump, you have I think this was the hydraulics. The hydraulics for the engine. You have the gimbaling, your thrust vector control gimbaling, all kinds of things. So this is a rocket engine that's literally been around. What is that? 41 years. We should have, but we did not. So 41 years, and this is their big fix for the space launch system. So on the SLS, the new rocket, there are 4 of these giant engines that provide thrust, and there's 2 strap-on SRBs, solid rocket boosters, that go on either side of the SLS. So we're using 41-year-old technology in space. Cute. Here's a closer up photo of just the different things that are on this engine. It's cool, and it looks like it's generally all intact. I mean, I didn't sit there and count everything, but looked like it was pretty intact, so that's cool. This was the moon. It's beautiful. Here you go. Here's your... No, the Merlins are smaller, much smaller. They're literally called fucking strap-on engines, and you guys say that every time I say it. So your DEIQ, diversity, equity, inclusion, YouTube, it's very important. These people are stunning and brave, but Artemis is taking the first woman and the first person of color to the moon.
And they just happen to be the same person.
Yep. No, there were 2 different people. It's a...
You sure? I thought she was
a Hispanic
black.
woman and then a black guy.
Okay.
So, you know...
Which one is technically the first person of color?
That's a good question.
Who's getting the... I mean, she'll obviously get the moniker for the first woman, but, I mean... Are they going to fight for it, or...?
Yeah, I don't know. They should have thought about that.
But anyway.
Oh, wait, she's indigenous. So she's native. She's not even Hispanic. I thought she was Hispanic. She must be Southwestern indigenous. Huh. Round Valley Indian tribe. Yeah, so she's Southwest. So basically Hispanic. But yeah, so you ask if it was... That's what I'm saying. Meaty to the moon, baby. Let's do it. So Hayden asked me a question when we got out of the movie. He said, would you do it? Would you go to space? And my answer was not fast enough. Like, I would go in a half second. Like, if somebody had walked up...
He'd pick up the phone and go, yeah, sweetheart, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. I'm going to be extending this for a couple weeks, and I'll be back. And she would say, that's cool. Go for it. Because space is neat. All right, so this was... We took the hot ass tram, and it wasn't really that far, but...
It was still a journey.
It was a little bit. So we took this tram.
It was still long enough that the people giving the stupid trivia were annoying.
Yeah, that's true. The people behind me pissed me off more than the people giving the trivia.
Oh, really? Okay.
Did you listen? Like, I just heard them talk. Like, they...
Are you talking on the way there or the way back?
On the way back.
Oh, yeah, they were annoying as shit.
Yeah, just giving it so much ridiculous information. Oh, I bet that pollutes the hell out of the environment. No, it doesn't. Actually, when they burn it, it burns and produces water as a byproduct, so it's not even dangerous, but fuck you. But anyways, you know who you are. You're not watching my show. I guarantee it. So this is barn where the Saturn V. Now, one of the things that one of my criticisms of Johnson, not that it was hot, because that's Texas and that's not their fault, but did that... I'm not going to read that, Cincy, you dick. Completely lost my point of reference. Oh, their rocket garden compared to. I'm with you, Josh. I would go absolutely. Really, why were they even there? Probably for the diversity poster. Did I take Caden to the ghetto? No, I did not. I should have maybe, but
that's all right. One experience of potentially getting shot per day was perfectly fine by me.
well, we saw a bunch of homeless people under the overpass when we went to get beer. So
Exactly.
yeah,
It's not my channel, Stingy. Trust me, I'll save it for mine.
you're welcome to tell Stingy to fuck off on my channel too.
Fair enough. Take that into consideration. Don't mind me. I'm just scrolling through Uber Eats now. That's 8:30.
No worries. So the one criticism I had of Johnson is their rocket garden was really small compared to Kennedy or even Vandenberg. But one thing they did have, or even Huntsville has more. They did have a full scale Saturn V. So this is the barn that it was in, shed, garage. I don't know. There's a cow.
The Longhorn.
So just like if you've ever been to Kennedy, they have a wildlife sanctuary or an animal sanctuary refuge, and they like to have, and it's mainly for PR purposes, but they like to have animals that are native to the area, and they get something probably out of making it a wildlife preserve. So they had a bunch of longhorns, which we were explicitly told that if we walked over,
We'd be
we would
trespassing.
be
That was such
trespassing.
bullshit.
Yep. So there's these big ass horns. So this was the first rocket we saw, and this was one of the. How do we build a rocket? Oh, we use a ballistic missile.
Let's strap a bomb to an astronaut's ass and see how high up they'll go.
Yeah, essentially. This one was pretty cool. It was I think it was an RL. I forget. I probably have it somewhere, but yeah. So it had the launch platform. That yellow thing is the platform that it actually launched from, or ones like it actually launched from. Pretty cool little rocket. Here is another test vehicle. So, shit, I forgot what this one was.
Was that the Redstone or was that the other one?
I believe this was the Redstone, but I don't want to. Yeah, Mercury Redstone. I just wanted to be accurate. So this is the Mercury Redstone, and this was what took up the Friendship 7. So the first 7 astronauts into space to do that kind of stuff. It's a Redstone rocket. It's another ballistic missile that they just put humans on. Cute, very cute. But cool design, and it was really cool to see it up close. And I don't think you posted that one either. Hayden has an. I don't know if you did a short
I
or a
haven't posted
picture.
anything yet. In terms of the rockets, I haven't posted anything yet.
Oh, okay. The one with the. Yeah. That one's funny. I care about accuracy, buddy. Oh yeah. I've seen it and listened to it a couple different times. It's really neat. Same one. Okay, so here is one of the rocket engines. Shit. I can't remember anything. I'm tired. Anyways, this was a rocket engine. Cool rocket engine. It was laying on its side. There's that butt again.
Oh, for God's sakes.
So this is a look inside the bell of the engine. You can see the injector plate, which is really cool. You can get a little bit of copper coating coming through. Good gay shit. You can get a little bit of the copper coming through on the bell. So that's neat. And this is the injector plate where the fuel was injected and mixed. And then your throat, it expands into the nozzle, which makes thrust. This is a closer up. You can see all these tiny little pinholes in this injector plate. And that's where your cryofuels would go. And the explosion would happen right here in this little throat part. So there you go, Jonathan. There's your turbo. That is one hell of a turbo. You could not put that on a car. Ever. These were totally not for any purposes, NASA. Anyways. Oh, that was the H2. And there's the J2 engine. So yet another engine. This one's got a little bit more chrome parts and pretty parts on it, but same kind of thing. You have engine bell. They actually moved some of the parts down to cover up some of the bell, which was interesting. And if you could get close enough with the sound, not immediately killing you and ripping you apart, the outside of this engine at full go would be cold to the touch, and that's how they don't melt. So oil would be a bad. They wouldn't be oil intercooled, so they would be intercooled with the cryofuels. So you have cryofuels that are negative 290. So you can cool down whatever the hell you want without much effort. God, I'd love to. I asked the tour guide if we could put it together and launch it, and he looked at me like I was very dumb.
Yes, he did.
I was serious.
Yeah, I knew you were serious. You knew you were serious. He thought you were a friggin' moron. He basically looked over and said, "You see all those wires that have been cut?"
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and we'll get into that because that was kind of mind-blowing. So here's the F1. This is the workhorse for the Saturn V, and we can look at the other view one more time. This is a massive, fucking massive engine. What'd we come up to? Like here? Probably. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Like fifth ring, maybe? I think we... No, we didn't take one.
No, I took a photo of you standing next to it. Let me check.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's all right. You continue. I'll just jump in when I get to there because I'll have to go back through my gallery.
Oh, yeah. No worries. So, huge engine. Very massive engine. And like I said, there are 5 of those on the Saturn V. Shows you some scale of the Saturn V. So
your head was just below the main big tube that goes around. So on the other side, that's about halfway up. So
okay, so my head was like right here, if you can see the mouse.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this area. So that's how big that engine is. I came up to about here. Yeah, big fucking engine for sure. And mind you, there are 5 of them on the Saturn V. So when you're looking at the pictures, and it took me a minute to get light conditions, but when you're looking at the pictures, keep that in mind for size and scale. Like here's a normal sized human being. This is the size and scale. That is one of the engines. Yeah. It's hard to show, but I thought about it. So again, you have basically the same design. You have the injector plates. Both of those engines, the earlier one that I showed and this one, are both made by Rocketdyne, or were made by Rocketdyne, as many of the government's engines. So you have basically the same design, just on a much, much larger scale. So from the bottom side of it, you just see this injector plate, you see your throat, and then you see the bell. I was fascinated with it, so I have to probably brighten these up because it wasn't very bright in there. You could cook a lot of bacon. So again, you see just an average size human, and this is the back side of this rocket. So average human, back side of the rocket. Like, it is so hard to put in perspective unless you are. You could live inside the bell and be pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
There we go. I did keep brightening it up. Kevin Bacon? No, not Kevin Bacon. So again, here you see this guy, and these are huge. So there's the 5 engines. You can't see the 5th one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a 5th one down there. And then this is the first stage of the rocket. It burns RP1, which is rocket grade kerosene, and liquid oxygen. Yeah, but it's the Saturn was something special. Like, we were talking about the significance in the craftsmanship. We spent way too much time, just like we did with the Egyptian thing. What's up, TT, by the way? There was just something special about this rocket. Like, yeah, it's government lowest bidder, but there was a nation, there was a national pride, there was people working together for a greater good. Oh, I should have pulled it up because I sure as hell can't remember it. Hang on.
It really was quite difficult to try and get some sort of scale.
So the first stage produced 7.5 million pounds of thrust. And it gobbled. I don't know why it says gobbled. 20 tons, so 40,000 pounds of fuel per second. 40,000 pounds every second. That's cool. Yes. But yeah, it's a beast. 40,000 pounds per second of fuel. And this just gets you 2.5 minutes. It gets you about 50 kilometers off the ground. Or was it? I think it was 38.
Yeah, it was 30 something. It was either 32 or 38.
Yeah, I think it was 38. So here's another picture. You can see some different people, and just the scale is unbelievably incredible. And it was almost all the way to the top of this building. Like, it was even difficult for them to fit it in here. So this is the second stage. So this has 1 engine. So after the first one burned for 2.5 minutes and burned up a lot of fuel, the second stage would come into play. That first stage would drop into the ocean. And you can see just the craftsmanship of the one thing that's missing. There's an inner stage that would connect these two. They didn't have the inner stages in, so you could see all the detail. But you see all these tubes and connectors, and these are literally just fuel tanks with like a 1960s technology.
Yes,
Is
you
that the-
Barbarian. We actually saw that.
Oh yeah, we did see that. I'm
We drove
allergic
past
to
it.
I'm allergic to shellfish, so I can't do that kind of stuff. Sucks. I stand corrected. There are 5 on the second stage, and then there's 1 on the subsequent stage. I know. That's what I'm saying. So you see just the massive insanity that went into this project. There's a closer of the engines. You have the fuel balls for pressurization. You have all these connectors and wires, and I hope I was smart enough to take a picture of those, the electronics in that upper stage. But so here's your third stage, and your third stage is powered by 1 engine, the same engine that we saw out front, the J2. And here is the top stage. So this little thing on the top here with these little kind of flares. So that's your launch escape system. So this is a solid rocket motor that will take the capsule away from the rocket as quickly as it can to get the astronauts to safety. Didn't work, but it was supposed to be. And you also have hypergolic thrusters on the side that would help move the rocket. There we go. I did. So this is the kind of tech that they were working with to get this rocket to the moon. Yeah.
It's literally got transistors in it.
Yep. And anybody that knows anything about older new tech knows that this is a damn incredible feat. Like, you can see, there were so many wires. It was insanity. So many wires. So much different. Just here's the top of the fuel dome. So this is where the fuel would go. Bobby, it might have still had a charge. So here's inside of one of them. Okay, so this one you can see the launch escape system a little bit better. And so this command module, this little thing is a command module, like the one that we saw at the beginning. This command module would pull away, and I might have I have a picture. So here's the whole thing again from the other side. Just massive. There's the banners and the whole thing from that side. So I didn't take another picture of it. Well, shit. So this would jettison pretty quickly. This would actually turn around and face the LEM, or the Lunar Excursion Module, that would both take the astronauts to the surface of the moon and bring them back to this capsule. It was all housed in this gray thing right here, this gray stage. So pretty incredible that they could even do that. So, I mean, they do a lot on internal power anyways now. So internal computing, and for a company like SpaceX, they're using machine learning and stuff like that to be able to do the incredible things that they do. So we're kind of already there. I agree, Linda. No, I'm good. I didn't want to touch anything.
I so badly wanted to reach over and yoink one of those memory modules.
He's kidding.
Of course I'm kidding. Just because I wanted to doesn't mean that I did. Just don't check my backpack on the way home. I'm kidding. Kidding.
We're gonna cut the kidding out. Anyways, no, I'm around. So here's a mock-up of the shuttle, which is kind of the same thing that they're doing with the SLS. You have the big center tank, then you have the strap-on. You're welcome. Solid rocket boosters. Then we get into some of the newer spacesuits. So this is one of the spacesuits, and this one's not very clear. So again, lighting's funny in here. I want to see the patch. So this is a Columbia spacesuit. So this would be a spacesuit that they would wear when they left and when they returned. So this would be your bus ride spacesuit. Yeah, they said that in one of the. We watched a short video about the documentary about the Apollo 17, the last man on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So far, and everybody forgot his name, but I forgot his name, and I apologize. But
Cernan. C-E-R-N-A-N. Cernan.
Oh, well, good for you.
I felt sorry for the guy, so I made a point of remembering his name.
So, but yeah, they were talking about those experiments with the lunar seismometer and stuff like that. So, no, I am your father, Jacob. Yes. Well, perspective shitty too. But yeah, it was pretty long. Yeah, he was kind of funny. Like
he was good in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he like really enjoyed it, and some of the footage from him on the moon was pretty cool. So.
And I'm sorry, but going out of your way to scratch your daughter's initials into a moon rock is pretty badass, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, and there's no wind, so it'll be there if we ever return.
Mm-hmm.
Deal. So anyways, here is the actual wind tunnel model that they used. It was a fifth of the size of the shuttle, and
no, 5%.
5%. Sorry, I knew it was something with
5%. Yeah.
Yep. So this is the shuttle that they actually used in the wind tunnel to test different things. So we touched it. Allegedly. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I assumed it was okay. It didn't say not to. Okay, so now we get into the really, really cool shit. I would love to. So these are actual moon rocks, actual moon specimens that they had in this giant ass vault. Like it had this huge door. It was pretty.
It was a legit vault. Like it was like breaking into Tiffany's and stealing diamonds vault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes removed for safety and security, weather, blah blah blah. Nitrogen, da da da. So this says where it was picked up. This is Apollo 15, lunar basalt, and how it was picked up. Here's another one from. I think I took pictures of where they were. So there's another moon rock, and although they were on display, you were getting nowhere near them.
Mm-hmm.
This one I thought was really cool. That's probably my favorite one.
I thought it was interesting that I think it was that one or the next one that it really looked like brain matter, and it was really surprising the way that it like came together. It was really interesting.
It did very much so look like brain, and you can kind of see it, but perspectives. And that one was the previous one. The brain one was from Apollo 17. Yeah, Gene Cernan. Station 6 split boulder, taken from a boulder geographically diverse area. One of the things that stuck with me from this one was Gene Cernan said that when he found this specific rock that's in this picture, it had looked like someone had been chiseling it. Now, as you can see, these are the Apollo landing sites, and there was nothing else that was anywhere close where another human from the United States would have been there chiseling a rock. Just something to think about. That stuck with me because he was very adamant about it looked like chiseling on the top of the rock.
Yeah, because the guy that went with him on that trip, Jack Schmidt, was an actual geologist, and he said to Gene at the time, "It looks like another geologist's been here before us, but that's not possible."
Yep.
So he recognized the sort of types of scratches and engravings and that sort of thing. So it was weird as hell hearing that.
Well, that's our thought, but
yeah.
So that was in the actual audio. So, this was that moon rock piece that I touched.
I watched Mighty Finger the Moon.
You did. You enjoyed it. Well, no, we're absolutely not alone.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I got to go back and finish that.
Here was some kind of instrument that was on the moon, or a mock of some kind of instrument. This was what this one was.
Yeah,
was
that was
this an Apollo capsule? Yeah. Okay.
17. That's the one that. I can't remember if that's the test one or if that's the actual one, but I remember because that's the picture of Gene there. The video was going on in front of him.
Yeah. So this was the actual one, and that's why it looks like that. You can kind of see the. Oh, there we go.
The vault door. Yeah.
Big ass vault door. And that's where the lunar samples were. Here's a mock-up of the moon rover, which is like a car. There's the soundstage where they faked the moon landing.
Oh, go back. That there in the background, that flag is the backup that they took with them. That flag has actually been into space. It was the backup flag in case something happened to the one that was planted.
Yep. So now it's on display. There's another cool flag too. But yeah, that was the backup for the one that was placed on the moon. Again, the rover. There we go.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool too. You got
a
nicer photo than I did too.
Oh, did I? So this flew on the Challenger and Space Shuttle America. So this has actually been to space. So really cool. There's the other side of the capsule. Terrible picture, but this is the Gemini. Mercury?
I'm pretty sure it was a Gemini.
The other one's a Mercury. There's this was the mock-up of this is the RC. You can see the little RC engine right there, like air-breathing engine. So this was the mock-up that they used to prove the concept to take the space shuttle on the Boeing.
They had a video of that going off as well, and so the plane would actually go right up, and then they would detach the shuttle and then land the shuttle from the model as well. It was really impressive.
Yeah. Yep. Need to go back up to place the back up.
Well, because the original would be sun bleached by now, wouldn't it? The original flag that was placed.
Oh, now I understand. Yeah, probably. It's probably People joke that it's the French flag now because it's probably all white. Yep. No, I didn't. I said the guy that did this was awesome. He wasn't affiliated in any way with Boeing. And I believe this is kind of where this should be close to where we ended up, but
yeah.
So that's the back end of a Falcon 9. Beautiful, beautiful little Falcon 9. I took so many pictures of it.
He was a wreck the whole way back to the hospital, to the hotel.
Yep, I was. And then Aussie, like a good bloke, took care of it. So
yeah, because we went to Twin Peaks. It was fine.
Never mind. So here's the pins and here's the landing legs. So that was pretty neat. Just to see kind of up close all the stuff. Of course, took a picture of the SpaceX logo. There's the back end from a different view. So here are these titanium grid fins that I talk about all the time. They have one for astronauts, but
there was like a virtual reality thing that you could go in, but the line was ridiculously long while we were there.
Oh, it was stupid long. So all right, so here are those big ass grid fins. So again, they machine these out of a single piece of titanium, each grid fin, and they are absolutely massive. So you can see one that they have kind of this curvature, and they also have this little get up here. So you have to think of this block of titanium being, pretty square, pretty big. And plus that's a cool picture of the Falcon 9 logo. So here is one up close. So again, you can see it is all one piece. There are no welds. There are no connections. It's just machined out of one piece. And then, so that's my tiny hand next to the big grid fin. I know it's a shitty representation, but you can see just the scale of how big this is. So when I talk about how big they are, you now know how big they are. Here's under the belly of the Falcon 9. There's the back side going away. There's the other side. I also kind of noticed this at the beginning, but didn't really. There's an X underneath here. You see that? Their logo. So it looks exactly like their logo. So it's got kind of this sweeping line here, but it's a straight line here. So
that was probably part of the agreement to have it left there.
Yep. And nice lens flare on this one, but this is as we are leaving. This was the last one we took of just another one of this incredible plane that carried this shuttle across the country. So yeah, it was a fun trip. I enjoyed going. Trying to get there. I know, that's what I'm saying. But it's like the SpaceX logo.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm changing hotels tomorrow, so I'm sort of uprooting things, and it'll be all different all over again. But yeah, no, people are very friendly. At least the people I've spoken to, anyway. What's there to say? I've had a great time. So
yeah, we did some American stuff, and now he's going to go to a nerd fest, the furry convention, as somebody said earlier.
I love that you, of all people, are saying that I'm going to a nerd fest when we spent 7 hours.
This is a different nerd fest. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was really cool. And so yeah, that is this day of activity. It's really cool. It's really cool to see the history. I encourage everyone to take a look. If you're in the Houston area, a lot of fun and
definitely worth it. Definitely worth a look. It really is.
A lot of history, a lot of neat things that you can't see anywhere else with the space program. I just wish we would all get off our ass and work together and build another Saturn V like thing, because that was pretty incredible. Really, really incredible. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me tonight. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Appreciate you joining me, Hayden.
Happy to. Thanks for sending the link.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get the videos done, so I probably won't stream tonight, guys. Just because, yeah. But for God's sakes, there's 30 of you watching. Remember to hit the like button, okay? Less than a third of you have. So.
Yes, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content. And you're not subscribed. Make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube and their fuckery. And yeah, I think that's about it. I will not be streaming tomorrow, because it's my day off. And then Thursday, we'll be back to our normal routine, news, and then hang out, and then so on and so forth. So it will pick up and be normal once again. Are you hanging out with Kurt? Asked Josh.
Potentially. I mean, the whole point of me going is so I can get drunk with a bunch of lawyers. So I assume he'll be there at some point.
Yeah.
Vices gets in at like 11 o'clock tomorrow, so we're going to hit the bar pretty much as soon as he lands. So that'll be interesting.
But all right, y'all. Well, yeah, I think that's about it for me. I'm gonna go sleep in a minute here, but take care and thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon. Damn it, where's my button? There it is. Good night, y'all.